Very pleasant Tuesday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. A hearty morning to you, Richie B, and the Up and Go team. Certainly hope you all have yourselves a wonderful morning. Conversations in between, very, very short, but always sweet. So, you don't know. Richie, have a wonderful day. A very, 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 very warm welcome to the Untangle program on the bridge to all our listeners. And of course, we go 24/7. So I know you've been here since. And, we all do this all for you. So welcome once again to the listeners of the Bridge 99 FM. And of course, a very special morning to the Untangle team. So it's now time for us to join Ms.Lotaya Morgan, author of The Key to Self-Actualizing.
Watch your step and don't you?
No, yeah. Is she there? All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Latoya. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. What about you?
I am very well. Thanks for asking. All right. So I know that you're the author of The Key to Self-Actualizing, but we want to find out a little bit more about you before we actually get into the book and the contents of the book, right? I know you've been a very busy young lady. So let us first talk about a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? That kind of thing.
Okay, so I am 28 years old. I will be turning 29 in a month from now.
You mean
I
April?
am from St. Pardon me?
April next month?
Yes.
Good month. Good month. Good month. Yes. Go on, talk.
Yes. So I'm from St. Elizabeth. I'm from the farming community of Comapen. I grew up with both my parents, Joycelyn Smith and Hicksford Morgan, who have been excellent examples to me in life. They're farmers. I went to the Bishop Gibson High School for girls, and I currently mentor students for them, and I keep in constant touch with them. I'm a part of their alumni association. I moved to Kingston when I was 18 years old. I have a degree in accounting. I have a BSc in accounting. I have been in the working world for about 10 years now. I have experience in accounting, management, administration, HR. I have a ton of experience, and I've been speaking publicly at schools. I've been addressing their students. I am a part of a charitable organization as their treasurer. So, quite a bit of things that I have going on.
All right. A lot of your experience seems to be in the corporate world. But you mentioned that your
Yes.
parents are farmers. How has the
Yes.
fact that your parents are farmers influenced you generally and particularly as you enter the corporate world?
Okay, so my parents, even though they did not make it past high school, they always understood the benefits of education. They have four girls, four of us, and they ensured that we all went to decent high schools. And, we watched them work very hard. My parents they're the hardest workers you'll probably come across. Farming, small farming doesn't make that much money. And they had four of us girls to go through school. And they were givers, they were very kind to people. And when I got to the age where I graduated high school, they wanted more for me, but they could not afford to send me any further. And I took it upon myself to ensure that I did more, that I went out there and I did what they couldn't do that they would have loved to do. And my parents, they're so proud of us.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. It's a very good feeling when you can say my parents are proud of me. Isn't that a wonderful
Yes,
feeling? Absolutely. All right. So you mentor to students who need special
yes,
attention at your alma mater, right? What are some of the
yes.
issues that face, particularly young ladies, now? What are some of the main issues that they face that you have to mentor?
So I think the biggest thing I would say is that parents are not parenting properly. And therefore, the issues that I see them having is not necessarily having to do with education or rather formal education, but it is issues stemming from within the home. They don't have that stable background, they don't have that example within the home, and it spills over into all other aspects of their lives.
I hear you. And something that I'm thinking about, Latoya, you mentioned that you were raised by both parents. And a lot of people
Yes,
seem to think that both parents means both wealthy parents or both highly educated parents, and it really is just a family that is stable and functional, and it's amazing what just that can do when raising a
Trust me.
child.
That is accurate because my parents, they struggled. They struggled continuously. My dad, not only did he farm for himself, but he would go and work in other people's farms. And there would be mornings that I'd have to meet him at the farm for him to collect the money before he worked for it to give it to me so I could make it to school. So my parents struggled, and it's just that they were both there, and I was able to get what a mother can offer and what a father can offer because they offer different things when it comes to support and stability.
Absolutely. So you saw your father go out there and work for his children, and
My,
that is,
my mother too.
and your mom too.
My mom actually used to sell in the market downtown. She'd get in a truck from St. Elizabeth with her produce, and she'd come to sell in Coronation Market. And even when she was not well, so I had those examples of hardworking people, and I had that drive because I always knew I wanted to make sure they could live comfortably. Once they did that for us, and it's now time for us to make sure that they're okay.
Wonderful. What a history, what a journey, and what a testimony, And thank you for sharing it, because you realize there's some people who are very cautious about what they share, and they just want to share what they think people want to hear.
Yes, that is true. But this is who I am. This is why I am the person I am today.
Love that. Okay, so let's talk about your book now, The Key to Self-Actualizing. What was the inspiration behind writing this book, and where did you get your information from?
Okay, so the title is The Key to Self-Actualization, the Crucial Items School Left Off the Curriculum, right? So it has a subtitle, so it's a very long title. That's okay. So, as I said, I left home when I was 18 years old, and my parents never went to university. They never had corporate jobs. Therefore, they could not give me advice on certain areas, and I struggled. I made a lot of mistakes, financial, other personal mistakes. And I've always loved writing, and I've always jotted down what I was experiencing. And after a while, throughout university, there were many students who I helped, whether, with their work, their schoolwork, or by simply giving them advice. And I revisited what I was writing, and then I recognized how much content I had. And I thought it would be suitable, knowing that I've come across individuals struggling in the way that I struggled, and knowing that I had amassed all of this information, it would be suitable to turn it into a book. And it took me a while. I restructured it many times. And I self-published. So I didn't have a publishing house behind me. I had to find a printery, had to find an editor, I'm doing my own marketing. So it was a whole journey that I've learned from. And I just really want to help others to understand that you don't have to make all of those mistakes. Once you get the right kind of guidance, then you can really make smarter decisions. I could have finished university a lot sooner than I did. I wouldn't have gotten into debt when I did had I been given this information. So that is what I'm trying to offer to individuals.
Okay, I noticed at the bottom of the book it says the crucial items school left.
Yes.
What it says? Read it for us. Right, there you go. Lift it up a bit. Lift up it a bit.
Yes, so it's the
Yes,
crucial items that school left off the curriculum.
that's
And
right.
let me just put this out there. This is in no way blaming the school for the deficit when it comes to students. It's just recognizing that the school cannot realistically handle a lot of the other things that need to be handled. The money management, how to write a resume, the fact that you need to get your passport, your driver's license, you need to get a mentor, you need to have information on the educational institutions that are available to you. I've actually listed out a lot of the ones that are in Jamaica because I think people think there's only the UTech and the UE. And I've listed the institutions that are accredited, and how to get in touch with them. I also talk about how to pay for your education. People don't tell you about scholarships, and I always maintained very good grades throughout university, but I only at one point applied for a grant, and I got it. And I was saying to myself, had I known this from my first year, I could have saved so much money because I had really good grades, but I just did not know how to go about getting funding for my education. So these are the things that school will not necessarily be able to cover, and your parents, who probably just don't know better, will not be able to cover either. So I'm trying to cover all of these grounds that would be missed out in between parents and the school.
I'm happy that you are. And may I go out on a limb to say that oftentimes it is my opinion that school and the curriculum could actually include some of these things in the curriculum, because some of what have
They could.
because some of what has been included is so unnecessary, in my opinion, that these very important things you mentioned, a grant, it is as though it's a state secret how to apply for a grant, and only certain people understand it and know it, and only these certain people get the benefits of it. And it is my opinion that this is intentional.
Well, as individuals, one of the things I heavily advocate for is taking responsibility for yourself. And the information I found is actually out there, and not many people seek it out. For example, the Jamaica Gleaner does a full supplement every single year around March, around this time of the year, with scholarships from primary school to high school to university. And it is right there in the Gleaner, and it's a full spread,
Yeah,
right?
it's that's but
Therefore,
you
I
know it's different from being in the Gleaner in a full spread. It's much different from going to school from age, I don't know, 12, 13, and being taught these things over and over in the same way. No disrespect to
that is
ADMATs,
true.
that we learn ADMATs and all of these things that we never ever seem to find a place to use.
That is true. And that is one of the reasons why a part of my business plan, a part of what I want to do is to actually go into high schools and to somewhat overhaul the system. It is something that will take some time, and it will take a lot of persons getting on board. But I'm seeing where it is something that can be done. And it just takes the right people to get there to start this change.
Right, I agree with you. And I'm sure others could make a list of many other things that the curriculum could include while we're going to school. Even, there are some things that we're learning now, and had we learned them earlier, as you suggested, we wouldn't make some of these mistakes. Like,
That is right.
personality disorders, people who are toxic relationships. These are things that we don't learn about until we are immersed in some of
That
these
is right.
relationships. And people like yourself and people like us too in the media really need to lobby for some of these things to be included in the curriculum, not just a center page in the Gleaner. Sorry.
That is so true. And the very first chapter in my book is called Self-Discovery and Personal Branding. Because as you mentioned, we all have those struggles, and they put us in situations where we really should not be in. And I give a list of questions for persons to ask themselves about your past trauma, your current situations. Are you happy in it? Are you doing yourself justice? Are you treating yourself like someone you love? So I do understand the benefits of finding out who you are, and that will put you in a position to be able to keep yourself out of these toxic situations that you mentioned.
Right. All right. So the book, The Key to Self-Actualization, how is it doing?
It is not doing bad. I've actually had the library, the National Library, the Public Library Network, and the School Library Network. They've purchased copies from me to stock in schools, in school libraries and public libraries across the country. So that for me is a major accomplishment right there. I've been selling on an individual basis. Individual sales tend to be a little bit slower. So what I do, I try to connect with schools directly. I've done speeches at Heart, Excelsior Community College, and they do purchase some copies when I do these speeches. So I'm taking my time to build up the momentum when it comes to this. And my aim really is to get organizations to purchase these books and to donate them to high schools. I've been in touch with alumni associations, the guidance council associations, and I'm trying to connect with these individuals so I can get them on board, because I do recognize that parents who are already struggling and students who will not know the value of this book will not purchase. So, that is the angle that I'm trying to come from with this book.
Okay, a wonderful thing. I'm happy that you're connecting with schools because the
Yes,
information needs to go into schools and touch children with, especially at an impressionable age, that they can
that is
start
correct.
understanding all of this from early. What would you say as an author of this book? What would you say you have found to be one of the main keys to self-actualization?
As I mentioned earlier, I think self discovery, understanding exactly who you are. I think so many of us are confused when it comes to our identities because we're influenced by the social media, we're influenced by our peers. And I will say this, I suffered from low self esteem for a number of years, and it stemmed from wanting to be like everybody else. And I had to pull myself back and I had to learn about who I am. I had to learn what really makes me happy, what will make me fulfilled. And if you can just start there by discovering who you are, that will tell you every single thing that you need to become self actualized.
I agree 100%. You know, something too that I have found, Latoya, because of the system and how it operates, you can have low self esteem and not even know. And that is why it is so
True.
important to start a conversation about it because
Yes,
usually that's when you realize, hey, but my self esteem not so up there, kind of lowish.
that's right. And I do tackle mental health in the book as well. So I do have foundation points, the things that I think people need to do before. So self discovery was one, and health and wellness is another chapter. That's chapter two, actually. And I speak about the importance of mental health because in our society, that is not tackled.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
many people just, Jamaicans are so quick to say, oh no, the person just mad. Instead of saying, that person might just need a little bit of advice, they might need a little bit of professional help, and that will position them so much better in life.
Absolutely. We are really hoping that this conversation that we've had with you, Latoya, will help to promote the book, help others to look at the book, help others to perhaps buy the book and read the book and apply
Yes,
some of what they have read. Wonderful talking to you.
yes. So before I go, if anybody wants to reach out to me, they can contact me on 876-423-1095 or 390-3977, or they can search my name on Instagram, Lotaya Morgan.
Okay, thank you very much for that. And I'm sure you'll get some, particularly young people, I'm sure, reaching out to you. You have a wonderful day and continue to do what you do. Continue to be an example to those around you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Most welcome. Wonderful. So that's a lovely conversation with Latoya. Latoya is just 28. Well, I mean, when you get to my age, it's just. Stop it. Right. So she's a 28-year-old author of The Key to Self-Actualization. We could have spoken a lot more because she's also involved in charitable work. And you heard her talk about her mentorship program and her public speaking and all of that. And we say congrats and continue to rise. Gonna take a break. Soon come. We're living in an era where young people are understanding, perhaps even more so than we were when we were their age, about how short life is. And that's just a reality. A lot of people are dying around us, even more so than perhaps when I was your age, whatever that is, me younger, you, older, you, whatever that is. A lot of people are dying now, more so than when I was younger. And therefore, the lesson of understanding how short life is not going over people's heads. We're getting it. Young people are getting it. And as I think it was a lady who said, life is short. We have to laugh more. We have to really live that life a lot more. Finding your true purpose, of course. The gentleman who spoke about overcomplicating life. That is just such a fact. There are times when we see a beautiful thing. They talk about smelling the roses. And it is as though that too simple, man. We want something harder. You understand? And so we pass these beautiful, simple things about life and go and find problem, looking for problem when the simple things are in front of us. A very short example is when we were growing up. there were certain cups that was inside of your mother cabinet and certain plates that you touch it now. You touch it, but yeah, you use what? It's not for you. It's not for we. It's for this guest. And this guest you never come yet, because when your auntie come and a she, when your cousin come and a she, they not feel who for. So these are the things that we need to learn, and young people learning it a lot. How much are we put up frack with dry rat because that right moment just never come. Boot dry rat because the right moment never come. We wrote your boot and we're the frack because now is the time, now is the moment. So it is now time for us to have that global connection as we connect with the tri-state area. We connect also with Irish Jam radio listeners.
It is time for me to make that connection to the Bridge 99 FM in Jamaica, where I connect with the Queen Mother Elise Kelly. Let's make that connection right now to the Bridge 99 FM. It is time for us to untangle.
Thank you very much.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Beauregard. How are you?
I'm doing lovely, Mama Kelly. How are you? How was your weekend?
Very nice. Very lovely. What's the weather? You have this smirk on your face. What? Please. What's the weather?
The weather is lovely.
Wonderful. You're my favorite color.
It's
My
second.
Favorite color, that's what you have on. Purple. Favorite color.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So the weather.
It's the weather. It's the second day of spring. It's about in the mid 50s right now. The sun is out, the sun is shining.
Nice.
A lot of people are out in the streets and getting things done. Of course, all these COVID restrictions have been lifted. So, more people are out in the streets.
Nice, wonderful. Speaking of COVID restrictions lifted, you know that the curfew here in Jamaica has been lifted. It was lifted on Friday, and that's a good thing. It's a wonderful thing.
Yes, a very wonderful thing. A lot of things are happening in Jamaica. I see that, parties are keeping again. A lot of cars also on the streets. Unfortunately, a lot of accidents are happening. I'm here, so now I'll tidy up. I hear the royal family is there.
Watch out before we catch this, sir. So, we tidied up for true. We tidied up in front of the British High Commission that we can make a lovely protest. But before we get to there, though, on Friday, I was on the street on the weekend. And on one hand, I'm really very happy that the curfew has been lifted for for obvious reasons. But on the other hand, it struck me as I watched the police officers on the road that for them were cut out for them still, Because on a quiet weekend, when the curfew was on, they had a lot to deal with. And I'm just hoping that as Jamaicans, we understand our responsibility, we understand our rights. Of course, we have to understand our rights. And on the other side, we have to understand the responsibility that comes with these rights, because you mentioned the road, and can you imagine, it's like your Lego one picnic with pen up from 90 how long, the road, everybody just said so.
I tell you, it's crazy right now, and I like you say, it's respect. Respect for the officers and the work that they have to do, and to understand that it's a lot that they also are dealing with. And we understand that people are excited and the situation they're coming out of, and they want to let loose, but just do it in a responsible way.
Absolutely. And can we just give a shout out to all those who are on the road, making sure that there is law and order, because it's not an easy job. Being a police officer in this time is not an easy job. I watch them all the time, and I really have to show enough respect, because their hands are tied. There are certain things they cannot do, and there are certain things they should not do, and that's on that's their responsibility. But we have a responsibility too. We do.
We definitely do. Definitely. But on this side also, Mama Kelly, yesterday the Supreme Court, they began their confirmation hearings for appointed Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who is seeking to become the first black female Supreme Court justice. So we say best wishes to her. She's going to go through a whole week of questioning, in front of the delegation that will be questioning her. So, it's a big thing. And we wish her all the best.
Absolutely. You mentioned indirectly, you mentioned that the visit of Prince William and Kate Middleton, and of course their Caribbean tour. You probably would not remember this, but I remember back in the day when I was about first, second form, thereabout, the Queen and her universe of the queen and the king, but not this time. The queen, the queen and her husband came to Jamaica, right? And they passing Morosca Road, and of course the place lined up with everybody, and you know the traditional thing, and everybody trying to do the same thing too, and all these wonderful things. But I can tell you this, you know, from as far back as then, I would be thinking to myself, you know, me not do that something me do. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because as young as me is, no, as young as me is, me remember whole heap of thing where you do. And the colonial past that we had and all of that. So I remember saying to my friends, so me now do that something, and them they rehearsed, and I say, no, it's not so good, sir. Like, say, really? There are many other things that I could do with my hands, but that was not going to be to be one of them. So how do you feel, Beauregard, about no, I'm realizing that times have changed a lot, you know, now that her family is coming, a lot has changed. How you feel about that whole thing?
Well, I'm with most Jamaicans who feel that, you know, Jamaica is ready to move away from, you know, British association. A lot of people, as you said, they're planning a protest. Is something that I heard is about to take place today.
It's taking place as we speak.
Okay, so you know a lot of people, you know, they really and truly are in need of their independence right now. Not the fact that we got the independence, but people say we are still under the British rule and the British control. You know, people really and truly want to feel independent and for Jamaica to become its own republic.
Right. Right. And that is a general feeling here in Jamaica. As I say, times have changed, and there's a protest happening right now. It's actually on Trafalgar Road. I've been informed. It should have started 10:30. It's on the way now, and the protest is calling for slavery reparations. And
Right.
yeah, as Prince William and Kate do their tour, there's many things that should be on their mind, and you know, we have to remember, you know, that when people like these do a tour of the Caribbean, one of the things that is on their mind, whether we want to face it or not, is that they are touring their property. Them touring them
Yes.
property. Yeah.
And looking at their subjects.
They're looking at their subjects, and they're looking to see if them still have them under them foot.
Right.
Not so
Right.
much, no. Not so much, because they are going to be seeing, while they're on tour, they're going to be seeing a lively set of people demonstrating about, you know, the atrocities that took place. Don't smile too much and don't matter with the waving, right, you know, because Jamaican people not in it with you. The Jamaican people want a lively conversation about our rights, about all that slavery has done to our people. We want a lively conversation about that. We can smile and have it, you know, no problem. We can smile and have it as long as we're having it.
And the fact that we need to continue to educate the generations that are coming on, you know, our true history. And to
Absolutely.
let them see what we have gone through.
Absolutely. Like I said,
man.
back in my day when I was at Woolmer's, we were not encouraged to have these conversations. We were just, as you can imagine, you know the colonial history of Woolmer's too. So we were really just encouraged to smile and look upon the people and I said, and then not me, but them pretty, not so much now. Them the days they're done.
Wow.
Them the
Yeah,
days,
man.
I remember vividly those days of everyone rushing out and da. People will still be doing that, you know, don't get me wrong. But there is now a different view. People want an apology, and even if not an apology, a conversation about the crimes against humanity and exploitation of the indigenous people. Those things that we're still suffering from these things. It's not in the past. We're still suffering.
True. It's a conversation to be had.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Your side.
Mama Kelly, what do you think about Jacure?
Oh my goodness, as for that.
Mm.
You know something, Beauregard? We have to be very clear about the fact that it's not salt with salt when it comes to certain outcome. We need to be clear about the conversations that we have, the decisions that we make, and a lot of this will determine our future. it is very clear to me that a lot of bad decisions are being made, and as a result of which, you find yourself in a pickle.
Right, right. And I'm hearing that one of the ways in which they were able to convict him was of voice notes that he had sent to the victim. And Jacure over the last couple of years in the social media space has been doing some things where he's been sending voice notes and they've gotten out, some threatening voice notes at that. So I could just imagine what they used in the court to convict him.
We're going to take a break, Beauregard, but I was saying to Richie B this morning, we're having a conversation off the air because Richie B actually closed this program with that news item. And I was saying to Richie B, and he was agreeing with me, that Jacure needs to take this time out to seriously analyze his life, the choices he has made, and the choices he continues to make. Because it seems to me, I could be wrong, but it seems to me that a lot of the choices that he is making is as a result of, I don't want to say that, but he needs to just analyze his decisions generally. What he eats, what he smokes, what he says, what generally. The company he keeps, thank you very much. And these are things that not only should Jacure analyze, but for those who love to boost up people who are on the wrong track, they too need to analyze for them life and realize this is not a joyride. Certain things will make you, something that I remember though. I remember when he came out of prison, his first show was in Holland. His first show was in Holland. And I remember those people, the entire world was there. And they embraced him with a lot of love. And we need to remember this. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. We need to remember.
Yes, we need to remember that, the same people that embraced you with a lot of love will not necessarily tolerate anything and everything that you do. And as for the lawyer suggesting that stabbing people is part of our Jamaican culture, we don't know which part him get that from.
For everyone listening, if you have not heard, Jacure has been sentenced to 6 years in prison in the Netherlands for attempted manslaughter. So,
I hear that we have pictures of the protest as we speak, and that's it on the monitor. Pictures of the protest of the visit of the royal family. And, as they tour, I really hope they enjoyed it. Yes, see him there, see right away. Who voted for the Queen? Not me. Governments should be chosen by the vote, the people. It's a different kind of person, different kind of nation, different kind of space that we occupy now. And
that's a young girl holding that sign.
I was just going to say that Beauregard is it's all different kind of people now. It's not just one kind of, the demographic is totally different. So we have elders, we have young people, we have Rastafarians, we have black conscious people. It's not just one kind of person. So get to the program and understand what time it is.
Well, look at that sign. It says 60 reasons to apologize. # say you're sorry.
And make reparations. # Jamaica 60.
Yeah, man.
Because a lot of us are of the opinion that, you're 60 now. How much more growing up we need for do as a nation? For understand who we are, what we're going through, and for make these people understand that what they did so many decades ago still affecting our people. So don't come with no bossy wave and no big smile. Come prepared for talk.
And the motorcade.
And all them something. Them the thing they now wear again. Them the days they done. All right, so we're going to take a break. It is now 24 minutes after 12 o'clock, and we have live online Miss Dolores Jones, and she is VP Sales, Strategy and Marketing. Good afternoon, Miss Jones.
Good afternoon, Elise. How are you?
I am very well, thanks. I hope you are fine too.
I am.
Okay, wonderful. So we're going to be talking about the Diaspora Investment Forum. But before we even start asking certain questions, let me ask you to tell us briefly about JN Fund Manager. What is it that you do? Who are you?
So JN Fund Managers is a member of the JN Group of companies, and we are an investment firm that offers our clients and prospects, both in Jamaica and in the diaspora, ability to invest, offering a range of products and services that help persons to build and grow their wealth.
Okay, all right. And then the second question would be tell us now about the Diaspora Investment Forum and then link the two for us.
All right, so the Diaspora Investment Forum is a forum that's been put on by the JSC and the Jamaica Council in New York. JN Fund Managers is participating in this conference because we as a group is heavily invested in the diaspora. We have footprints in US, Canada, and the UK. And we recently launched a commercial bank in the UK, which is a first for a Jamaican-born company. Here at Jane Fund Managers, our investor base is spread across the diaspora. And so we thought that it was our duty to inform and update on the opportunities that exist within the Jamaican space.
Okay. You mentioned the reach of the diaspora, and it seems like it's a typical first world countries. Is there any other country outside of the typical countries that spans also or has now spanned the diaspora?
There is, because even though our highest concentration, the UK, Canada, and the UK, we are seeing clients from the Caribbean and from other countries outside that are interested in doing business in Jamaica and such are seeking out the opportunities that are available.
Okay, wonderful. So has the Jane Fund Manager done anything new during the COVID-19 to enable investors in the diaspora to have easier access to your service?
Certainly. We thought about how can we use technology to empower, especially in this time. And recently we launched a digital onboarding platform. And this platform allows our prospective and existing clients to easily and conveniently open an account with us on their time, whenever they are, wherever they are. And this entire account opening process takes 10 minutes, and it can be done wherever you are using whether it's your cell phone, your tablet, or your computer. All you have to do is go on our website at www.janefunds.com, click the link, open an investment account, complete the form, submit the form along with all the documentation. And once those documentations are checked and you qualify, within 24 hours, you'll get an email advising you that your account is opened and the next steps in terms of funding or starting the investment process. So gone are the days when someone has to come in an office, or advisors have to go out to them. Anywhere you are in the world, once you're so qualified, you can become a client of Jane Fund Managers.
Wonderful. That's good news. All right. So the Diaspora Investor Forum now. What can participants expect from your speaker, and what topic can we expect to hear?
There actually is a lot happening in the capital market space. And as you know, Elise, with activities comes opportunities. And our speaker, Mr. Dylan Coates, the Deputy General Manager, will be talking about trends in the capital market. And without giving away his presentation, he just to inform you of some of the highlights. So he'll be talking about what is happening now in the capital market space, impact of external international economic, political events on the capital market, and where can investors look for opportunities to invest in Jamaica.
Okay, wonderful. And finally, how can persons in the diaspora contact your representatives? Where are they? Who are they? And how can we touch base with them?
All right, there are a lot of options that persons can get in touch with us. We can be reached via telephone at 876-929-7102 or by email at info@jnfunds.com. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and our social media handle is JN Fund Managers, or persons can simply just visit our website at jnfunds.com. So there are myriad of ways that one can contact us.
Okay, wonderful. And just remind us again of the Diaspora Investor Forum. When is it? And how can you participate?
So the forum will be held 2 days. It's the 23rd and the 24th of March. And persons can visit, I think, the JC website and register to actually attend the seminar. We at JN will also today send out a blast that includes the link of the registration to all our members and clients in the diaspora, so that we ensure that you're not left out of this process.
Wonderful. So thank you so very much for giving us the information that we need, and thank you very much for taking time out to do so, Ms. Dolores Jones. Thanks again.
Thank you. The pleasure was ours, Elise.
You're most welcome. Okay, so that's VP Sales Strategy and Marketing, Miss Dolores Jones of JN Fund Manager Limited, and we're talking about the Consul General. That's the JSE. Consul General New York Diaspora Investor Forum, and of course participants in that forum will be the JN Fund Manager. They will be participating because they are interested in anything diaspora. While we were on that break, I got a text, and one of the texts said, and it's so very true, that, you know, a lot of artists seem to be more preoccupied with their ego than they are with the responsibilities. And even for those who say that they're not anybody's mentor, they may not be yours and mine, but you still have a family, and your family, you have to be mentor to at least your family. And these are people with young families, young children, and they're watching every move you make.
You know, it's good. It's great that you said that, Mama Kelly. You know, last night I was at an album release party in Brooklyn, New York City.
Yeah.
And the album release was for Yardcore, whose album Reggae Land was released. And he had a great support. And, you know, in the release and his speech during the playing of some of his songs off of the album, he was basically saying the same thing about our music. And the fact that why our music hasn't seen certain platforms is because of the truth that it speaks and the messages, you know. So I want to send a big shout out going out to Yardcore on his latest release, Reggae Land. Shout out to Leela Ike, big up Protege, who was also in the building. It was a good look. The Irie Jam family was there to support. So, you know, to Yardcore and to his fans and listeners, support his album, purchase it, do what you have to do.
Yeah, man. You know something, Morgan, as I'm listening to you talk about, you know, people who were there and the artists who were there. You know, we go back to when reggae artists were being signed by the biggest of companies, and it was a great look, and we were so proud of the Electras and the Columbias and all these big companies that were signing reggae, and then they stopped. And, you know, we have to, I mean, yeah, a lot of it may be, you know, the company, them are look for whatever, you know, whatever. But we have to look at our part that we played too, you know, because there's a middle section there in reggae that really did not attract that kind of company support. And we need to ask ourselves why. And then there is a younger breed of Jamaican artists, like the ones that you call their name. And I mean, I know them getting a fight from certain areas in reggae, but watch this now. We really need to raise the vibration of Wagwan in the music. And I am of the opinion that the people who you called a while ago, and others, not just them, but other young people coming into the business, do have the ability to raise the level of conversation on rhythm and raise the level of them own life and how it impacts on the universe. Because whether you want to like it or not, we do have this responsibility.
Yes. Yes, we do. Definitely. Yeah, man. We have to take control. We have a responsibility, as you say, and we have to really step into the position to make the moves and do the things that we need to do to for the benefit of the culture and the generations to come.
Absolutely. And if you can't see that far, at least see as far as your children. See as far as your family.
Everybody else do it, Mama Kelly. Every other race do it, Them I think all 5 generations ahead,
I'm glad you said that.
Mama Kelly.
I'm very glad you said that.
Think about them great grandchildren. We have to start with the same thing.
Absolutely, and we have the ability to do so. And when we find ourselves among people who are insisting on doing so, we need to stop isolating them or shooting them down or making comments about why them is who them is and what and all them, because idiot something there, and really think about what it is that your responsibility is. Is your responsibility being constantly being incarcerated and everybody go past it and say free so and so and so and so and so and so? That culture, if that is part of our culture, we need to change that image. It not help we.
True indeed. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard, Jacure has been sentenced to 6 years in prison in the Netherlands for an attempted manslaughter. They wanted 8 years. Well, at first it was 15 years, and then it went to 8 years, but time served is going to give him 6.
Have you thought about, Beauregard, have you thought about the fact that this is an institution outside of his culture? This is an institution that is predominantly not black. And the kind of life that he will perhaps live in a space like that.
I hear some people already say, boy, I don't know how I'm going to manage. I would rather they are jail in Jamaica. I don't want they in no jail.
Thank you.
I want my freedom. Nowhere on the planet I want to be in any jail.
Same, sir.
Yeah, man.
It's nice. Look upon all with your boy picking them. What you would do at jail? What? You'd rather be at your yard with your wife and your children, and that you'd rather.
Yes.
And I'm just thinking about Jacure's little daughter, this little last one who looks so much like him. My goodness me. And usually them little girl picnic, they love them daddy,
Yeah, man.
So what you doing to her? What you really doing to her?
Sad situation, Very sad.
Very, very sad situation. And I'm really hoping he uses this time to come off of anything that he's on that is not, helping, to go on the internet, to spend some time, whatever it is that your traumas are, because he seems to me to be a traumatized young man. Whatever it is your traumas are, seek and find, man. Now is the day and age where you can just Google, seek and find the best way and the worst way of to type up something more time, and seek and find. Where do we?
Right. True.
Me know say me seek and find where do me, I'm going to tell you something. When me say where do me, when me say where do me mean where do me. Me no mean it in a pretty way if I say, well then, what what did me? Me mean where do you? Because you are the only person probably, who knows your issues. And you're not to be afraid to face the fact that we all have issues. And you need to find out why you behave this way, why you react that way. And you will learn a lot about yourself, man.
Some self-reflection.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Wonderful time to do that.
Yes.
Anyway,
Indeed.
anything else happening your side?
On this side, no, Mama Kelly. I saw something else in Jamaica though that I wanted to ask you about,
What?
which is the killing of the Costa Cup football player, a goalkeeper who was killed by another player over a gathering, over a ring. But they're saying something about gathering. I'm not sure if you heard that story yet.
No, I didn't. Over a
Okay,
gathering?
yeah, so they must say the William Knibb Memorial High School and their the Costa Cup football team family have been plunged into mourning for the second time in 2 weeks following the death of their goalkeeper Kamal Hall this morning. Last week, a former player, 19-year-old Nigel Allen, also passed away after a short battle with illness. But in the killing of this young man, he was killed by another player over a ring.
Wow.
That's all I have on the story for now.
Wow. You know, as I see the children back out because they're out in their numbers, Beauregard, here in Jamaica, because, you know, they're back at school, right? And I'm very happy to see them back at school because you know, I really used to worry about what was happening in some spaces where they have no control, you know, there no parental guidance and that kind of thing. And sometimes it is school that provides that guidance. But then again, you read a story like this and you say to yourself, you know, what were they doing during that time that they weren't at school? What was happening? I think about that all the time. And you know, did they get an opportunity to go deeper into some of the gangs that are in, you know, say Woolipa gang there at school, you know? Did they get
Yeah,
that
man.
opportunity to find more time for the gang them? Or did they use that opportunity to spend more time learning? I really ask myself that question. And if it's a ring,
So
that's bad. But if it's a gathering, what you're
that's
gathering?
that's the term I saw in one of the stories that was put out.
Oi.
Gathering. I don't know what the ring gather. I don't know.
Serious
It's
thing, this, you
crazy.
know?
Very serious. It's funny, answer your question on what the kids were doing. I would say some of them really and truly use their time wisely. A lot of young people through this pandemic, I saw where they became, entrepreneurs, and they became more business minded, and they started to do things for themselves. Whereas some people just did not make use of the time, and a lot of them, like you said, they fall by the wayside, or they got involved into some things that can only bring them down.
And you know even more than I do, Beauregard, that a lot of what they did during this time has a lot to do with parental guidance. How were they being
Right.
guided? You know?
Hmm.
And you know, a lot of people were suggesting that during this time we could teach your children some of the things that are not on the curriculum, how to wash the car, how to cook, how to,
Yeah.
do things that will make them better human beings when they leave school. But this has to be guidance. We do have to guide our children. That's why we're here.
Yes. And they need it. You can drop the ball, as they would say.
You
You have
can't.
to stay. You have to, especially during I call like their teenage years, between the 13 to 18, 19. Those are some very serious years, especially with boys. You have to definitely round them, and try to do your best.
You know, Beauregard, I know what you mean when you say especially with boys, but especially with girls too, because
True. True.
all right, the boys, there's always that threat of unscrupulous people introducing them to crime, but then you know the kind of songs and the kind of influence that girls are under, and girls tend to be where boys are, and boys tend to be where girls are. So we have to worry about the two of them because them is always together. They're always together, and the influences are oftentimes the very same. We see which part the massive gun find the other day with some high powered weapon and ammunition that unspeakable. Them was looking for a woman. him looking for a woman. If you follow up some of these cases in the courts, we realize that a lot of women, or should I say women, even if not a lot, women are actively involved in just about anything that men are actively involved in. And so we really have to Lila Ike have a song which is say, Mama, where is your girl picnic? Papa, where is your son?
Yeah.
Where them a do? You know where them a do? You know who them hanging out with? These are the things that we have to spend time on and stop feeding our adult egos. What a waste of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. You said it, Mama Kelly. You said it.
We have to be parents, and we have to not just be parents of our own children, but let me tell you something about God. You see, as much as you hear about Jamaica and how the youth them feisty and how them will tell you this and tell you that, me not care. Me will always be a mother, and me is going to smile nicely. Tell me how much string make me up. Me is going to smile nicely and say to them, say, so how was school today? Me don't care. And the toughest of them are the one them where me I go to. And you see, I have found that initially they might give you a little bad look because them don't sure where you're coming from. But you see, the village has to continue to raise our children, because when them realize that you're coming from a good place and you can run a little joke with them and relax them a little bit, we have to be part of them life. We have to be. All know that them gone back to school. The first thing me ask them about is your clocks. Clocks nice, man. Bad clocks, and that usually kind of just, kind of make them feel like a nice-ish. And I say, yeah, man, you look nice, man. I like your school uniform. And so what you do today? Right, following right after how me like for them clocks.
Yeah, but
so we have to be part of a village.
And it be for them to be able to feel like they can approach you, and talk to you and feel comfortable doing that. That's another thing too. Sometimes kids feel like they cannot approach adults with certain topics and conversations. If you can, like you say, you break the ice with them and put them in a comfortable situation before you get to the more serious topics that you have to discuss.
Poor God, we just have to. We don't have a choice, because a lot of the times parents are preoccupied with many things. And it's not necessarily many negative things. Sometimes they're preoccupied trying to send those same children to school. And that's why we need the village.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just do. And, especially know that the children are back at school. We're going to be hearing, unfortunately, we're going to be hearing more of those stories because the children are back at school. But we also have to remember not to judge, because from we were going to school, there were stories. And one of the things that really upset young people is when you say, them young people, yeah. And one of the first things me I tell them, nobody tell them about them young people. A long time them something they go on. See? And a long time it stop.
True. Absolutely.
Bus conductor there with girl long time from me there at school. I'm sorry for break it down so terrible. But a long time them there's something there going. I don't know. Everybody making it sound like I just know the big music I play. Music never playing at the bus them there. But a long time teachers used to have concerns like that.
Right.
So it's just, if what?
Yeah, man. Even
well, same way so. Yeah. From me I go school, I mean, we can think about one bus conductor him right now. I don't know, like say, anyway, I'm not going to say that. But one particular bus conductor when we can think about, and a pure little school girl, him trouble, and him built up a reputation for that, and that is way back in the day. So we have to remember that these things happen because they happen especially to children who are not supervised.
Right.
Anyway,
they young. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say this was a very good conversation I had with you today. And to your guest that was on, Miss Dolores Jones. Want to send a big shout out to her and the whole team at the JN Fund. And on them having their first commercial bank in London. That's a very, very, very big look.
Yes, big look. Burning Spear back on the road. That's another thing.
Yes, I think I saw. He's actually going to be at Rotterdam Sunsplash. That's coming up soon in August. So that's gonna be something big for him. Yeah, man.
You know, something that I thought about Beauregard as we just hail Burning Spear and love Burning Spear. Burning Spear is an artist that we really have to look to. And you know, one of the reasons why we have to look to him, he has practiced what he has preached. And he's living life on his terms. How many people can say that?
I'm not sure.
To be
I'm
living
not sure.
to be living life on your terms. Now here's a man who went into retirement on his terms. Want to say enough respect also to his wife because she is on the two of them terms. Right. I'm sure it's on the two of them terms. So he has decided he decided to go into go into retirement. I remember his wife saying long ago that she don't want her husband on wheelchair on stage.
Wow.
Remember she said so.
He's doing good. He's doing good. We wish him more leap of health and strength, you know.
Yes.
And many more years on the stage, you know, as long as the good Lord allows it. You know, prosperity for him.
Absolutely, because he has gone into retirement. Him doing what for do, him feeling strong, him looking great, and him decide now say, boy, may I take the road again. Well, if that's not living life on your terms, tell me what is.
Trust me. It's a good look.
Very good look.
He celebrated a birthday earlier this month, you know, so yeah, man, happy birthday going out to him again. Also today celebrating a birthday is Mr. Ken Booth.
That's right.
Today is his birthday.
That's
yeah,
right. That's right.
Happy
Many
birthday,
artists
Mr.
born
Ken Booth.
in a March, you know. Nadine Sutherland also had a birthday. What I say enough respect to Clyde McKenzie of the Bridge 99 FM. He also celebrated a birthday recently. So Clyde, a happy belated birthday greetings to you. Who?
And on Sunday, Mr.
Yes,
Perry.
Beauregard just mentioned Ken Booth. Right. So,
Yeah, man.
it's now 12:55. A little different kind of afternoon, but sweet same way.
Yeah, man. All the time.
All right. Bless up your listeners as usual on the Irie Jam radio and your viewers and listeners. Bless upon yourself.
All right, and to everybody in Jamaica, have a wonderful afternoon. We'll do this again on Thursday, Mama Kelly.
That's right. And we'll be in touch as usual, Beauregard. Through Vaughn, we're going to be in touch about what happens, you know, when we are talking about.
Yes, yes. No problem.
All right, Beauregard. Bless up yourself. Heart of
All
love.
right.